Hi, I'm something of a sword enthusiast, and I've been watching a lot of the videos on YouTube for a long time about different medieval weapons and swords and armor and all that stuff. Good, interesting stuff. And I decided to weigh in on something I've noticed recently. Uh, well, originally I watched several years ago Lindy Page's video on the matter of wearing your sword on your back. And I remember that being the first really popular video on the subject. But since then, over the years, there have been many, many videos on the subject, which I find kind of baffling because in all these videos, the premise seems to be that drawing a sword from your back is impossible, so you wouldn't do it. So you have to have some kind of trick or method for doing it. You have a special sheath or something. You have a special method for drawing away the sheath and doing something. You have it in a backpack and stuff like that. And I just find the basis a little bit baffling because I have here well, my first sharp sword, katana. It's a ugly piece of crap, but it's been with me for the years, so I'll be using her for this video. I'm gonna put it on the back using my offhand to keep it there. So pretend there's some sort of method for keeping it there. I'm not gonna draw it or anything. I'm just gonna pull the sword out. It's not harder than that. Now this is a standard size katana, so for me it's a little bit short, but it's not by no means a short sword. This is a pretty long weapon, when you think about it. And that wasn't really a problem. Of course, getting it back in is a little bit more difficult, but I'll show that a little bit later. But the thing about this that I find so baffling is that one of the common examples in this discussion is that, in TV shows, they always wear their sword on their back, but then they can't draw it, so they have to cut between two cuts. But I was just recently watching an old TV show, fairly popular, and there was a warrior there who had a katana on his back, and he has at least two scenes where he draws it without any problems. This show, you might have heard of it, it's called Babylon 5. Yeah, so there's an alien there with a katana, and he does it multiple times. And it's not a particularly new show either, so it's a fairly old discovery, I would say, almost. So I found this discussion kind of baffling on that basis. I'm going to show one more thing with this, so give me a break. I'm going to do something real quick. So I'm back. To show that I'm not doing anything funny with the other hand, I've tied a basic shoelace, to show the amount of effort I'm putting into this video around the saya. And now I'm going to wrap it around myself so that it's on my back. So let me just find the other string. There it is. I'm gonna put a knot here. Not very visible because it's my black t-shirt. Whatever. Just so that it's secured there. Okay, so no hands. No problem. And actually, when I have the other hand freed, it's actually kind of possible to get it back there. It's not that hard. You could probably refine this in some method, so make it more easier, get it more stable. It's a little bit wobbly like this. So, for example, in the season 5 scene where the Gnar alien draws his katana, he uses his offhand to a little bit stabilize it and raise it, like this, which is kind of similar to the method Metatron was taught about drawing and throwing away the sheath with the offhand. But it's not really necessary. You can just draw it because of the curvature of the sword. It's resting along like this, so you're drawing it like that. I'm going to show you one more time from the side so you guys can see it properly. So, like this is the light. Resting against the small of, actually, the between my shoulder blades. Resting there, touching roughly here, it's comfortable. And hold it like that, it doesn't move. Not that difficult. And I think you could make this actually a little bit longer, would be fine, because you can start drawing like this, pull it there, and then pull the whole way. So you could actually get it a little bit lower on the back. This is a little bit awkward because you're relying on your sense of touch without touching the blade. It's a little bit cumbersome, but it's fine. So if it was a little bit longer, I would just get a little bit lower, like this, and then that's even easier. So this very energetic discussion seems a little bit weird to me because of how easy it actually seems to be. And yeah. I also have another example using a European sword, so stick around. The other common sword to be worn over the shoulder in popular culture, media, games is usually the two-handed Western sword. This is the windlass English two-hand sword, I believe it's called. It's a dull, it's not a sharp one, so I can play around fine with it. But as you can see, it's very long, as in, if I wear it on my, actually see it, if I wear it on my waist, it's actually quite a bit of trouble to draw it out because of how fucking long it is. As you can see, I can stand this far away and still reach you. So it's really, really long. But wearing it on my back is actually quite easy. I don't know if you noticed, but I have string around here just to demonstrate a purpose. It's not supposed to be, you know, the final product. It's just to illustrate a point. Then I have a pen here. It's against the sheath. And essentially what you would do with something like this is you have some sort of string again. You loop it around like that. So it's between the pen and the sheath. And then you just have some sort of method for attaching it like this. A little bit lower, that's good. So like this. So if I had some sort of cuirass or gambeson, I could just tie it here. It'll be fine. I mean, I can actually carry it like this. It's completely fine. It's a little bit unstable. It wants to swing around, but if I lower it a little bit more, I think it will do actually a little bit better. You just find the right point of balance, and it will stay there pretty securely. Now, how do you get it out of here? Well, that's simple. You just throw it up out of the loop here, which brings you nicely to a guard. Or if you want to go something like that. Now, you're thinking, but hey, the sheath is on, so it's useless. Well, if you're just quickly drawing it out and you defend yourself, it doesn't really matter if you have the sheath on, because it's just going to be guard, 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 something like that. And having it something like this in a fight is actually shown in the manuals, where you're carrying the sword on your shoulder like this. So, say someone attacks you, you block them, pass sword, and then you draw away the sheath, you can throw them at them, just put it in the ground, you can fight normally after that. So, that's two methods I've thought up of actually wearing a sword on your back. It's fairly functional, I think. That's about all.